Good morning from Nigeria. My name is Awunli Eghosasere. I am the founder of Wify, a faith-based community that creates resources to help young women navigate their careers and motherhood effectively. We also publish the stories of young women who are acing it in their careers, their businesses, and their social impact projects. So you can visit us at www.happywifey.com.ng to learn more about what we do. So thank you, the Youth United Council of India, for having me here this morning to speak to young people in India and young people from all over the world. I'm grateful for this opportunity to impact the lives of young people today. So today, I'll be speaking on how to develop unshakable confidence to help you achieve success in your life and in your career. Why do you need to develop self-confidence? Self-confidence is an essential tool that you need in your toolbox of life. Every human being is destined for greatness. Every human being has an unlimited potential. We all have the potential to succeed, to be a success in life. But there is one thing that can stop you from, achieving what you have set to achieve. And that is a lack of self-confidence. That's a lack of faith in your abilities, in your skills, in your competencies. A lack of faith in who you are can stop you from achieving your dreams. You may have great aspirations, but you may not be able to achieve them. You may have big ideas or solutions that can help the world navigate, the different problems that we're encountering in different parts of the world. But you may not be able to step up to achieve them because you are afraid, you are fearful, you lack the courage to step up to become that thing you want to be. But with self-confidence, with faith in yourself, with believing that you are capable of becoming something, you'll be able to take the steps to achieve your dreams. Why are many people fearful? Why do many people lack confidence? Number one, it's because they compare themselves with the achievements or the successes of their pals or their colleagues or their contemporaries. And there is one thing you need to note if you're that kind of person. No two persons are the same. Everybody has a particular purpose they were born to fulfill. My purpose and your purpose are two different purposes. So it would be wrong for me to be comparing my success or my achievements or my accomplishments with yours, because we are not on the same path. If we are on the same path, then it would be great for us to, make some comparison. But because we are all different, we are all unique, we all have unique talents and abilities, it won't be right for us to start comparing our achievements or our successes with one another. And another thing that make people lack, confidence, self-confidence, is because they are afraid of what somebody would say. They are afraid of maybe people will laugh at them, or people will, think their idea is stupid. Okay, you never know if anything is stupid until you put it to work. And something great can also come out of something stupid. The people who are successes in society today, they tried many times at one point or the other before they became a success. They didn't just, the first idea didn't just make it to success. They must have tried a number of times and failed too. But because they believe that something great can come out of them, that is why they kept being persistent until they achieved success. So the people who are
The recording has stopped.
The people who are succeeding are not better than you, okay? The people who are succeeding in life, they are not better than you. You can also be a success. And so that is why we are looking at how to develop the muscles of self-confidence.
This meeting is being recorded.
Can also be successful. In March this year, in the United States of America, a lady called Diana Trujillo was celebrated as the NASA flight director. She was part of a team that shot a robot into space, shot robots into Mars, okay, to identify the signs of life that must have existed billions of years ago. She was celebrated in the United States of America and from her home country, which is Colombia. But how did she get there? She was formerly living in Colombia. At the age of 17, her country, there was war in her country. But she asked herself one day that, will her life keep on being this way? Will she keep on living this way? Is there anything that she can do with her life besides these experiences of war that she was, encountering at that period
The
in time?
recording has stopped.
Every night she went out and she was always looking at the stars and asking herself, is there something out there? Is there something out there that is better than this life I'm experiencing? And guess what? One day she made up her mind. With only $300 in her pocket, she headed for the United States of America. She did, a number of menial jobs to see herself through school. And here she is, a NASA flight director. What if she had not believed in herself? What if she had not believed that she was capable of achieving something greater, or that her life was made up of more? She wouldn't have taken that step to become what, she is today. Okay, perhaps she would have been married off because she was 17 when she left the country, when she left Colombia. Perhaps she would have been married off at that early age, because that's what happened in most war-torn countries. She would have been married off. She would have given birth to a number of children. Only God knows the number of children she would have given birth to. But that was not the case, because she believed that she could make something out of her life. She believed that she had the capacity to become more than what she's experiencing. And for every human being, if you're a young person listening today, you have the capacity to become anything you aspire to become, to achieve anything you want to achieve. And so I'll be giving you some strategies that you can implement from time to time to stay self-confident, so that you can have, you can execute your ideas, you can actualize your aspirations, you can be a great contributor to society. Before I move on, there is something I would like you to know. At every stage in life, you would need to keep increasing your self-confidence. It's not something that you do at one point in time and then you relax. It's something you have to do from time to time, because after achieving a set goal, there will be higher goals to achieve in the future. Okay, so you need to keep developing your self-confidence from time to time. Don't settle down. After achieving a set of goals, inspire yourself, develop your confidence again to achieve higher goals. So the first thing you need to do to become a self-confident person is make up your mind. Make up your mind. Take a look back at your life. What are the things you've accomplished so far? What are the things that you've done for yourself so far? What is that one thing that enabled you to achieve them? What is that one thing that enabled you to take the step to become what you are today? If you really take a look at your life, you will see that you were determined. Determination enabled you to succeed, or determination enabled you to become what you are today, or to be where you are today, because you made up your mind. See, there is power in making up your mind. Your mind is the compass of your life.
This meeting is being recorded.
Your mind is what takes your life in the direction your life is going. The way you think is how you live. The way you live is a reflection of what is going on in your mind. So when you make up your mind, when you tell yourself, I'm going to be a self-confident person, that is the first right step in the right direction. I remember my own story in 2018, in the month of October 2018. I lost two of my aunts, my dad's elder sister, my mom's younger sister. For a very long time, I had stayed with them when I was younger, when I was a teenager. I stayed with them at different points in time. And, I lived with them, and I had aspired for their life to become better. They also aspired for life to become better. But until the time of their death, nothing better happened in their lives. And when they died, it was very devastating for me. I cried so much, because I thought life would be better for them, but life wasn't, life didn't get better for them. And that very moment, I made up my mind. I made up my mind to be someone who would always make impacts in my community. And guess what? Because I made up my mind, I took the steps to make them happen. And guess what? The feedback was overwhelming. many people were acknowledging the fact that I was impacting their lives. And where did it begin from? From the place of making up my mind. I've not stopped from that time till this moment. Anywhere I go, I make sure I make impact. I make sure I make a contribution. I make sure that I achieve something. Why? Because I decided at a very point in time. So in order for you to become self-confident, you have to make up your mind. Your mind is a powerhouse. If you keep feeling fear, if you don't take the stand if you don't take a stand against fear, against a lack of courage, you will keep being fearful. You will not go far with your dreams. Making up your mind, self-confidence enables you to go the distance for your dreams. But if you don't make up your mind, if you don't make up your mind to become self-confident, your dreams will only be, goals on your notepad. They will only be goals on your computer. They will only be goals in your head. They will not be actualized. They will not be realized because you lack the courage. You lack the impetus to chase after those things you are aspiring to do. So the first thing you need to do, like I said from the beginning, is make up your mind. Take a decisive step. Be determined that you want to become a self-confident person. I tell you the truth. The moment you tell yourself that, that you want to become self-confident, you are already on your way to becoming a self-confident person. So the next thing you will need to do to become a self-confident person is increase your level of self-awareness. Increase your level of self-awareness. I would ask you, how well do you know yourself? Do you know the things that you like? Do you know your strengths? Do you know your weaknesses? Do you know your capabilities? Do you have a well-rounded knowledge of your skills and your competencies? When you lack when you lack self-awareness, you will always be fearful because you don't know what you're capable of achieving. I used to be someone who, when I'm part of groups or organizations, I don't do anything. I just sit down. I'm always a passive participant. But the moment I began to be a contributor, the moment I began to participate effectively and actively, I began to realize that there are some, talents that I have that are useful, not just to myself, but to my community, and talents and abilities that people will even pay me for, or people will commend me for. So one of the ways to develop, to increase your level of self-awareness is to belong to groups, to be active, be an active participant in groups and societies that you may belong to. Don't be passive, because when you are passive, you will not be able to contribute. And when you're not able to contribute, you will not know what you are capable of achieving. So what you need to do today to increase your level of self-awareness is to write a composition about yourself. Dig deeper to flesh out what you know about yourself. What are the things you've done in the past, and what did you learn from them? Or what skills did you gather from them? Or what insights can you take from them concerning your own life? And how will that help you in the future? So write a composition about yourself to understand who you are. The kind of friends that you keep, the kind of movies that you watch, the kind of books that you read. It will help you to understand who you really are. And when you have a well-rounded knowledge of what you like, what you do, your skills, your competencies, your preferences, they help you to position yourself properly. You are able to maximize your strengths. You're able to improve on your weaknesses, because you cannot put your weaknesses aside. You have to improve on them, to position yourself better for the future. So have a well-rounded knowledge of yourself. It boosts your sense of self-worth. It boosts your self-esteem. And when all those things are boosted up, your confidence is also increased. So that's the next thing you need to do. The first thing we said is take a decisive step. Be determined, okay, that you want to be self-confident. And the second thing is increase your level of self-awareness. Uncover your identity. While I was in school, in undergraduate school, most of my classmates, they were always going to class to read at night. they always go to class to read at night. And I followed, you want to follow your friends to do what they do. You want to feel, in Nigeria, I'll call it, you want to feel among. You want to be identified with them. And so when we get to class, I find that I don't have the capacity to read all through the night. That's not me. I did it for a number of times, and I found out that I was not performing well. So I decided to sit down and check within me my strength, my areas of strength. What are the times of the day that I can read and assimilate so that I'll be able to perform better at my exams? And I found out that I was able to read only during the afternoons. So I stopped going to night classes with them, and I became effective. I graduated, in flying colors because I sat down to understand myself. Another thing I discovered about myself is that when I wake up in the morning, I don't really feel energetic to do things in the house. So late in the evenings, I feel, strengthened, I feel strengthful, and I'm able to accomplish a number of things. So those are some of the things I've discovered about myself that helped me, to achieve much more than I would have if I had not known all those things about myself. So sit down and, look at your life, uncover who you are, look at the way you've been doing things in the past. What were the things that went wrong? What are the things that went right? What enabled them to go right? What part of you, enabled you to do those things right? And in doing so, you're able to capture the kind of person that you are. And you're with that, when assignments or projects or things come your way, you'll be able to take advantage of them because you have, a well-rounded knowledge of who you are. So the next thing you will need to do to strengthen your self-confidence is be committed to making personal positive narratives. Scientific research says 80% of our internal conversations are negative. 80% of our internal conversations are negative. I met someone many years ago whom everyone around us, whenever we are together, we always admire her. She's beautiful, she's intelligent, she's a first-class material. She's beautiful, she's intelligent, she's shapy, she's everything you would love to, have in a woman. But guess what? She was always saying she's an olodo. Olodo in Nigerian language means an empty head. Okay, someone who is not intelligent or someone who is not brilliant. So imagine a first-class graduate calling herself an olodo, or imagine someone who is always successful at, different things, and whom everybody admires, telling herself that she's olodo, or she says mumu. Mumu is olodo is a Yoruba word. Mumu is a pidgin word in Nigerian languages, and they all mean an empty head. So imagine that such an intelligent person is calling herself an empty head. It's very obvious to us that she's intelligent. It's obvious to us that she's beautiful. It's obvious to us that she's competent at a number of things. But our internal conversations, are sabotaging her, because at every point in time, you hear her say these words. Who knows the number of opportunities she may have missed because of this thing she tells herself constantly. Like we said in the beginning, about the network issue. So I stopped at making a commitment to doing personal positive narrative as against engaging in negative self-talk. So if you check your internal conversations, most of the time, what you say to yourself are things, negative things. A psychologist in the United Kingdom said that the most important words are not the words that other people say to you. They are the words that you say to yourself. Okay, so the things that you say to yourself from this moment onwards, check them out. Are they things that will inspire you to become successful, or there are things that will dampen your sense of self-worth? So when you tell yourself that you are not capable of becoming anything, you find out that your life begins to look like what you have said. But if you tell yourself, like the story about Diana, like I said in the beginning, Diana told herself that, she asked herself a question: if she can get a better life than what she's experiencing. And because she told herself that she can get a better life. She made her way to the United States of America to find a better life for herself. And because she told herself differently, she was able to realize that potential. Today, she's been celebrated. So from time to time, check your internal conversations. Sit down and listen to yourself. What are the things that you say to yourself? Are you talking to yourself in the negative, or you're talking to yourself in the positive? So ensure that at every point in time, even if the situation doesn't look like positive, encourage yourself in the positive. So by doing so, you are inspiring yourself. By doing so, you are increasing the courage in you to succeed. I remember a story of a finance expert who took her children shopping, in a supermarket. So as they went from one shelf to another, the children were, pointing at expensive items. And at that time, they were low in cash. And so she find that whenever they made it, pointed at an expensive item, she tells them, don't do that. We don't have the money to buy that item. But somehow she recollected that telling yourself, I can't, will, impose on you limiting beliefs. And so she stopped herself and she asked them, okay, how can we afford these items? She said, how can we afford these items? And the children started making suggestions. And through those suggestions, they were able to come up with a solution to purchase those expensive items. So you see, when you talk to yourself in the negative, they impose on you limiting beliefs. And those limiting beliefs, they will show up when you want to take action to achieve your dream. They will hold you back from making progress. They will hold you back from stepping forward. They will hold you back from taking the steps you need to take to achieving your dreams. So ensure that at every point in time that you are talking to yourself in the positive, even if the situation doesn't look like it. Be encouraged, because the more you talk to yourself that things will get better, the more you inspire yourself that things will go well, you will find the courage, you will find the impetus, you will find the inspiration to keep moving until you get to the finishing line. So I'll recap on the things I've said before. The first thing you need to do to develop an unshakable confidence is be determined to be self-confident. The second thing you need to do, increase your level of self-awareness. And the third thing you need to do is always engage in personal positive narratives, even whether it's through your thoughts or by vocalization. You could be on your own and you could be talking to yourself. You could be saying words to yourself and you could be saying the wrong things to yourself. So whether you are thinking in your head or you are speaking with your mouth, ensure that anything that is coming out from you to you is always positive. Remember, the most important words are not what other people tell you. They are what you tell yourself. So even if other people tell you, let's say, for example, your name is Sarah. If people tell you, oh, Sarah, you can achieve this thing, and you tell yourself, no, I can't, that is it. You will not be able to achieve it. But if people say, Sarah, you can get this promotion, and you tell yourself, yes, I can, and you take the steps, definitely you will get what you have aimed to achieve. So the next thing is have someone whom you believe in their words. Okay, have someone whom you believe in their words, whom at times of discouragement, their words pick you up. Okay, there's this story about Virginia Ronetti, the former chief executive of IBM. She said there was a time a big job opportunity landed on her hands, but she thought to herself that she would not be able to take up that job opportunity. But her husband told her that she could. And the moment her husband told her that she could, she just believed that she could, because he told her that she could, that she can do it. She believed in herself because someone told her that she can. So have someone who can tell you, in those moments, because everybody experiences moments of discouragement. Life is not always a blissful experience. There are times where you will feel downtrodden. There are times where you will feel sad, especially when you have tried something a number of times and it isn't work. You need those kind of people in your life, people who can see in you the ability that you have to achieve that thing. So imagine that Perhaps she had not spoken to her husband concerning the job opportunity, or perhaps her husband was not the kind of person that, keeps her inspired. Perhaps she would not have taken that job opportunity. But because her husband told her that she can do the job, she just believed that she can do the job. So have those people in your circle. I remember in early 2000, I met a friend who was like a mentor in my life. Whenever I wanted to take any decision, I always shared it with her. And because she was old, she was 2 years older than me, or she still is. We are still friends. She's 2 years older than me, but she will help me to analyze the situation. She will help me to analyze, and by the time she tells me things from her own perspective and why I shouldn't or why I should, I believed her words. And I didn't make a lot of mistakes because she was in my life. Because she was there for me. I believed in her words. So have that kind of person in your life, someone you can share your weaknesses, someone who you can tell things. And even when you don't believe in yourself, the person can help you to believe in yourself, just like Virginia's husband helped her to believe in herself. So have those kind of people in your circle that can stir you up in your moments, in your lowest moments. So the next thing you need to do to develop your self-confidence is exposure. What are the things that you're exposing yourself to? Are there things that will stir up the potential that are inside of you, or there are things that would kill them? For example, we celebrated Kamala Harris as the first female vice president of the United States of America. She was celebrated all over the world as the first female vice president. But do you know that Kamala had got the inspiration for public service at the time when she was a child, when she was a very little girl? Her parents were taking her to civil rights marches in the 70s, in the late 70s. And when she followed them, she caught the inspiration to become someone who would serve, in public, someone who would be in public service. So what are the things that you're exposing yourself to? Those things will stir up in you the inspiration to succeed. So like I said in the beginning, Diana's story, Diana was always going out at night to look at the stars in the sky. She just fell in love with the stars in the sky. And she didn't know that the stars in the sky were calling forth for the things inside of her. She didn't know she would become someone who will be working in the aerospace industry. But today, she's a flight director in the aerospace industry. But she wouldn't have been able to if she had not exposed herself to that environment. There are certain kinds of environment that you expose yourself to that will help you to bet ideas, that will help you to bet dreams, that will make you become inspired. And when you enter such kinds of environments, your inspiration will be awakened. Your inspiration will be awakened, you'll be stirred up to achieve. And when you're in that state, nothing can stop you. So ensure that at every point in time that you're exposing yourself to the right environment, the things that will stir up, the potential to succeed in you. So the final thing that I have here for you to develop your self-confidence is to be competent. Be competent in that area that you have chosen, in that area of vocation you have chosen. Be competent. Develop competence. Develop capacity. Increase your ability to solve, problems in that field that you have chosen. Because when you don't have the ability, when you don't have the capacity, when they call for assignments, you'll be fearful. You will lack the courage to step up because you have not developed the capacity for that thing. So at every point in time, ensure that you are increasing your knowledge, you are increasing your skills, you are increasing your awareness, not awareness, not personal awareness now, your awareness about that area of specialization. You are increasing your competencies so that you can compete with your contemporaries, so that you can also be singled out as one who is skilled in that area. Because when you are not skilled in the area where you have chosen to pursue your profession, you will always be fearful, and fear will stop you from stepping forward. So it is very hard that you are competent in a particular area and then you begin to become fearful. Once you are competent, you will have the confidence to step up. You have the confidence to pursue that idea. You have the confidence to pursue that dream. So ensure that at every point in time, you are increasing your skills, you are increasing your competencies, you are, developing your talents in that area of your expertise or in that area of your profession. So I believe with this little this blueprint I've given you, which I have used a number of times in my life, that you can develop an unshakable confidence to be a success in your life and in your career. The people who are successful today, the people who have achieved, a number of things in their lives, in their profession, in their country, in their dreams, in their goals, they don't have two heads. They were also created by God, as you and I were created by God. But because they believed in themselves, because they believed in their abilities, because they believed in their capacity, they believed in their capabilities, they were able to step forward to do something with what they have. So with whatever you have, don't rubbish it. Don't look at it. Don't look down on it like it's nothing. That one thing you have can take you forward, can move you forward in your life. So ensure that you treat everything you have with respect. You treat it well. You develop it to enable you move forward. Don't stay in a place of fear, because you can become confident if you decide to become confident. So let me just say the points again. Be determined. Increase your level of self-awareness. Always talk to yourself in the positive. Always tell yourself positive things. Okay, even when you feel like a failure, the moment you say you are not a failure, you will feel successful. I tell you the truth. Try it. Then have someone whose words you believe in, someone who can stir you up in your lowest moments, and then expose yourself to the right environment, the environment that will stir up your potential. And then finally, always, develop your competencies. Always keep being competent. Always increase your skills, your awareness, your talents. Always develop them. And I tell you the truth, you will still self-confident to achieve your life and career goals. Thank you, the Youth United Council of India, for having me. Once again, my name is Awunli Eghosasere from Nigeria, the founder of Happy Wify, a faith-based digital community that creates resources to enable young women continue in the pursuit of their ambitions and dreams. Thank you once again for having me.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a pleasure having you here.